Hi friends, in this video we are going to see about the story The Mayor of London. A long time back there lived an English village. A poor boy named Jimmy Whitson. He was an orphan and he had nobody to look after him. He had no place to live in. He wished to work and earn his livelihood. But nobody gave him any work. For days together he had to go hungry. The villagers treated him unlikely and the children laughed over him. He grew sadder and weaker. One day, he heard two people talking together. One of them was saying that it was easy to find work in London. Jimmy decided to go to London and find work. So one day early in the morning, he started his journey to London. He travelled for a number of days before he arrived in London. It was evening when he reached London. He begged for food, but nobody gave him any food. Tired and hungry, he lay down on the footpath and slept. Next morning, he again tried to find food. However, the people of London did not pity him. He found them worse than the people in this village. He was so weak and hungry that he fainted in the front of a big house. The master of that house was a kind man. He saw the poor boy fainting in front of his house. He told his servants to bring him in. The servants picked up and took him to the kitchen. They sprinkled water on his face. Soon he became conscious and asked for food. The cook gave him some dry bread and soup. He gulped the bread and the soup. Then he was pretended before the master of the house. The master heard his story and felt pity on him. He said to him, "Would you like to work for me?" The boy agreed to work. He said, "I came to London to find work. I will do whatever you ask me to do." The master called the cook and asked her to give him some work. See that the boy is well fed. Also give him some old clothes to wear and let him sleep in the attic, he told her. Thus Jimmy found work and a place to live. The cook engaged him in the kitchen. His work was to wash the pots and arrange them neatly on the shelves. However, he had a big problem. The attic in which he slept was full of rats and they did not let him sleep during the night. He solved this problem by bringing a cat. The cat killed all the rats and he could now sleep peacefully. The cook was not at all friendly person. She scolded Jimmy even without any fault. The whole day long he had to work hard, scrubbing the pots and kettles, yet she shouted at him. A few months later, when he had earned some money, he decided to run away from the house and try to find work elsewhere. One night, he crept out of the house with his cat. He walked for miles and arrived at a church. It was Eve of St. Agnes and the church was decorated. The bell was jingling. Jimmy appeared to be happy on hearing the sound of a bell. He sat there listening to the cheerful sound. Suddenly, he heard a whisper behind him. He turned to see who it was. There was nobody, and yet the whisper came again. This time he heard a cheerful voice talking to him. Go back, Jimmy. Your fortune lies in London. Though art of future mayor of London." Jimmy decided to go back to London and continue to work in the rich man's house. After all, he is a kind man, he said to his cat and turned back. The rich man was a trader. He owned several ships. His ships took goods from London to all parts of the world. The goods were sold and the ships came back with such goods that could be sold in London. Once, when the ships were being loaded with different goods, the rich man called all the members of his house and his servant and told them, "If you possess anything worth sending on the ship to the sold, you may do so. If you think is sold, the profit will be yours." Everybody gave something or other to be sold, but Jimmy had nothing to give. He remained quiet and stood silently in a corner. The rich man went to him and asked him, "Aren't you going to give some of your possessions?" Jimmy replied, "Sir, I have nothing but this cat with me." The rich man told him to send his cat on the ship. With a heavy heart, Jimmy parted with his cat. The ship set sail. The captain of the ship in which the cat was travelling found the cat to be very useful. It killed all the rats in the ship and it saved him a lot of trouble. Soon the ship arrived at a place which was infested with wild rats. The captain of the ship went to the king to sell the goods. The king and the queen discussed with him about the very thing that he had bought from the ship. The servant bought foods and snacks for them. Just then, big rats appeared on the table and ate the fruits and the snacks. The captain asked the king if the rats were causing them great problem. The king replied that his kingdom had been infested with rats and they were unable to find any remedy. The rats even bite the babies. They ate away most of their foods. It seemed that the rat of Hamlet have come to our kingdom. The king concluded. The captain said, I think there is a solution to your problem. We have a cat on our ship. She's perfect hunter of rats. I think that would help you. The captain brought the cat. Immediately the cat sprang at the rats and killed a number of them at one stroke. The king and the queen were very happy to have the cat. They bought the whole of the cargo and paid a large amount of money for it. For the cat, the king paid a huge amount of money. The captain was really happy at the success of the voyage. It was the most profitable voyage that he had ever had. The captain then started his return journey. On reaching London, he went straight to the rich trader's house and handed him the whole amount of money that he had bought from selling the goods. He told him how the cat had made the trip successful. Then he took another pack of money and gave it to the master, saying that it was the price that had been paid for the cat. The master was happy. He called Jimmy to him and gave him the money. He said, this is the price that your cat had fetched. Therefore, it belongs to you. Jimmy was happy with that money. He started a business of his own. His business prospered and in a few years he became a rich person. He had his own house and engaged a number of servants. He married the beautiful daughter of his former master. Soon he became an important person of London. He became the mayor of London. Soon the prosperity that he had heard in the church of the Eve St. Agnes turned out to be true. Of course, he never forgot his cat. It was due to his cat that he had become a rich and important person. He always helped the poor people and built a home for the orphan and distinguished so that they wouldn't have beg for food. That's all. Thank you for watching.